Is a Minecraft turtle. It's part of the API that we installed when we installed all of the pip install things. It was part of the MinecraftStuff library. What's fun about a turtle is what it does is it will draw as it walks. So you can tell it to go forward and then turn right and then go up and various things like that, and it will draw as it does those things. In this case with Minecraft, it means it draws with blocks, and you can tell it what blocks to draw with and all sorts of things like that. So let's get started with it. You can see what it looks like. I just wanted to make sure you understood a turtle is an actual concept and not just a made up silly word for this Minecraft API. So over in our classroom, I'll have a second lesson for drawing with the turtle. I have all of the code in here that we'll use today. Some of it you might copy over a couple of times trying with different things, but that way you don't have to type it all out yourself. So the very first thing, as always, is to import our library. We're going to import our Minecraft and our block. We're also going to import MinecraftTurtle from the Minecraft stuff. So I'll copy that over. Let's see. There. And paste that into, I've already opened up my Python interpreter. Paste that in here. Those are my libraries. They shouldn't do anything. Go back over, and next up is to get everything set up. So I want to create my server. This server name is going to be whatever server name you're connecting to. If you are connecting to a local server on your computer, you don't need anything in here. This is just if you're connecting to an outside server. And then I'm going to get my ID and my position. Again, this is made just slightly more difficult because we are on a shared server, so it's not good enough just to get the player location because there's more than one player. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of these over in one fell swoop. And go ahead and hit enter. And then I'm going to create my turtle. You can name your turtle whatever you wanted to. I named mine Sloth. It keeps bringing me over to Minecraft. Okay, there we go. And so Sloth is just an instance of a class, and we'll get into those later. He is something that that has a lot of different commands that he can do. Okay, so now we're going to actually make Sloth do some things. So we'll send him forward. Then we'll turn him right by 90 degrees. Then we'll send him forward 5 blocks, right 90, forward 5, right 90, forward 5. You should recognize that that might form a specific shape. Think about what you're doing as you do it instead of just going ahead and seeing what happens. See if this meets your expectations. So I'm going to paste that all as one big thing. And over here, in our Minecraft world, we can see what's happening. Our turtle is going around. He's turning 90 degrees. And he's going forward 5 more. And he didn't do this last forward because I didn't hit enter at the end of it. So if we hit enter again, he'll go forward. And this is what I predicted. He created a square for us. Okay. So a 5 by 5 square. So 1, 2... I think it's actually a 6 by 6 square, and that's important to note because when he then turned around and went forward 5 times, not including the square that he was actually on. I'm not doing a very good job of counting it here though, so we'll have to see on a future one. So there our turtle just drew a square for us. Every time he moves, he lays down a block underneath him. So there's a couple of things we'll want to do to make him more interesting. We can change what block he lays underneath him, the same way we placed our own blocks yesterday. We can lift his pen up so that he doesn't always draw. We can change his speed. In this case, we're going to move him forward with his pen still up so that he starts out somewhere different. And then we can put his pen back up so that he can draw. So we'll go ahead and copy all of this stuff over. And put it in my terminal. See what he does. He just ran off without me. And apparently we have a cat on the keyboard, which is fine. Okay, so there is our turtle. He has his pen down. That's the position I like to leave him in. What you choose to do is entirely up to you. And then we can also make him go up. That's the fun thing about this turtle. But the thing to note is you're not going to say go up by 1 block. You're actually going to be saying to the turtle, rotate upwards by 90 degrees. It's just like a right turn. He only puts his blocks down in one position. So you're having him rotate up, and then he's going to go forward, which is now up, and then you have him rotate back down. So I'm going to do that set of things. I'm actually not going to lift my pen up so that you can see what happens. And I'm only going to copy those middle ones. Normally you'll want to move your pen up when he's doing things so that you can see what's going on. Okay, so now I'm going to hit enter. He went up, rotated by 90 degrees, or he rotated by 90 degrees, went up, and then rotated back down. And there he is. Okay. So he's now 1 block higher in the air. He also decided to drop a block probably when we rotated him. I'm not entirely certain about that. And it looks like he always draws in the space underneath him, even if he's moving forward going up. So that's just something to keep in mind. The surface that writes doesn't change. It's just the surface that his pretend face is on does change. There's no way to see that either, which is a little bit unfortunate. So you can't know which direction he's pointing in until you start having him move forward. Okay. Oh, and I never had him rotate back down. I needed to hit enter over there. So we can do some fun things like this. As you can see, there's this fun little tower I've built over here. So what I did with that is I did a for loop. And so I said for x in range 1 to 7. Normally you would start at 0, but since I'm doing this sneaky little thing in changing the color here by using my x, I went ahead and started with 1. So anyway, I'm going to separate this out a bit for you to look at, but we need to put it back together for it to be in our interpreter. This first part has him lift his pen up. He goes up 90. He points forward, or he goes forward 1, sorry, and then he goes now down 90. So this all this does is make him go straight up in the air 1 block. And then he puts his pen back down because I didn't want him drawing while he was doing this. This second set of information changes his pen color, and then you'll recognize this as our square. With one difference, I also add the 90-degree turn at the end, because otherwise we would be facing in a different forward direction for the next layer of our square. So if we think about what this is going to do for a moment, the turtle is going to go up by 1 block, the turtle is going to change its pen color, and then the turtle is going to create, the turtle is going to create a square with this. Okay, a 5 by or a 6 by 6 square with this information right here. So we should be thinking when we're writing the code or executing the code, we should be looking and seeing if we understand before we start executing it what it's going to do. And so I'm going to head and go copy all of this. Remember, we do need to copy this code in one big group since it's part of the for. This is getting a little bit ridiculous, and this is the last thing we'll do probably or the last big thing we'll do in the Python interpreter, and instead we'll switch over to code that we are running. I might still show you things in the Python interpreter because it's nice to have those immediate results, but it's a lot easier to organize our code in an actual file where we can write functions and stuff. Okay, so moving over here, I have my whole for loop. I need to hit enter one more time so he starts doing it. Go over here. I need to look for him. There he is. I'll fly up a little. Oh! Fly up a little bit higher so we can see what it's doing. So count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, our square is a 6 by 6 square. You can see that this would be a good way to build a house. You could build a very simple square rectangular house out of this and then cut out your doorways and things like that, and just have your turtle work on going up further. It also, possibly using air, be an interesting way to start building a mine. If you had your turtle step down into one, you wouldn't be able to mine the materials that the turtle gave you because it's replacing them with air, but it would get you down into places where you could start to see some veins. Now, as I pointed out to one of the players I saw, you guys all have operator mode, so you are able to put yourself in creative mode, and there's no real reason to mine right now. And really, you can make your turtles do whatever you want to. But it's kind of a fun way to think about how you would use this in a survival game or to do different sorts of things. Oh, I put a block in there. Oh well. So as you can see, that's what my turtle is doing. Play around with it, see what you have interest in. You could make some much bigger houses. You could change the color of each side of a house. You could use some math and do some things like some pentagons. All you have to remember is make some good, all you have to do is go online and look at what the angles are for, say, a pentagon or a hexagon and things like that. As a matter of fact, let's do a quick, because I never showed this off, let's do a quick changing of the direction of him so that it's not a right angle. So sloth.right, and we'll say 70 degrees, 60 degrees, and we will see what kind of a shape he makes with that. So sloth forward, well, first I'll do sloth.speed because I want him to go a little bit faster. I think the speed goes up to 10. And then I'm going to do sloth.forward, and I'm going to have him go 20, so we have plenty of time to see how he manages to go in a straight line that's not straight up and down. Ah! I keep double hitting space. So you see he does kind of a modified line in other directions. So it's nice to keep him on the square so that he does something nice and straight, but it's also kind of interesting to see what he does. We can do the same thing with up. So we can do sloth dot up 60 degrees, and again sloth forward 20. And you can see, because I have him going weird directions both up and sideways, that he struggled a little bit with that one. But that's the nature of Minecraft. If I come over here, I can see what that line is meant to look like. It's just that it's both moving in one direction and another in non-perpendicular block land. Okay, so that is all for today. Next week, we will get started on actually using our development environment and running programs that we have written, and we can do some more complex things that way. But I think the turtle is fun just playing around in the interpreter anyway.